Okay, so we're going to sketch this graph y equals tan theta between negative 2 pi to 2 pi. And the challenge here is to remember that tan, the sound effect is pa-pow. That's it. So the first little tooth here is going to be the vertical asymptote. So tan shoots off towards the moon. And then what happens when you go through a black hole? You reappear through the other side of the universe. So that's what's happening. And you land the rocket moon. This is one full cycle. It looks almost like an X or a nice star. And then if you really like that previous sound effect for sine and cosine, it's pa-pa-pa-pow. And as you can see, the whole thing repeats again. So we're going to call this 2 pi radians. This is also 360 degrees. This is pi, and this is pi over 2, which is the same thing as 90 degrees. 1 pi over 2, 2 pi over 2, 3 pi over 2. So this is 2 full periods of tan. So please don't think this is one period. This is one period is only between 0 and pi, or 180 degrees. But this is 2 periods of tan. And so we're going to graph it from not only from 0 to 2 pi, but also to negative 2 pi. So let's go backwards. We're going to go backwards another 2 pi. So this is pow. Notice how the vertical asymptotes appear every pi units apart. And we're just going to continue this pattern. This pattern here almost looks like an S. So if the question is to sketch 2 periods of tan, you can draw an S and S, which is fine. Or you can draw the first 2 positive periods of tan, which would be 1 star, 2 stars. Okay, so in terms of its characteristics, we'll talk about the domain. The domain is almost all real numbers. If you write this is not necessarily wrong, but this is already implied. You don't have to say all real numbers. The only problems we have is at the vertical asymptotes. The function is not defined. So I'm going to say x does not equals to pi over 2 or 90 degrees. That's the only problem. We have a vertical asymptote here. Now we have a general solution problem. This vertical asymptote occurs every pi units apart. So we say plus minus the period n, and the period in which this problem occurs is every pi units apart. If this was degrees, this would be 180. Now what about the range? The range, we're going to say y belongs to real numbers. Everything is okay from negative infinity to positive infinity. The graph is defined.